Hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name's Troy Vossler, co-founder of Generator, and this is the Generator Founder Series Spotlight. Today, I'm joined by Ankur Patel, founder and CEO of Multimodal. Welcome, Ankur.
Troy. Yeah, Troy, thanks for having me. Appreciate this.
Well, to kick things off, please start by introducing yourself and your company. Tell us about Multimodal.
Yeah, I'm Ankur, the founder and CEO of Multimodal, third startup for me. Multimodal has been around for 2 years now, and we're really focused on automation as a category for insurance and finance. And our platform leverages the latest in AI, so particularly agentic AI, to solve for very complex workflows like underwriting and claims processing by leveraging expertise that people have, injecting them into AI, and then having AI scale that human expertise for the organizations we serve.
Very cool. And tell us about the status of the company, whether that's traction, revenue, customers, partnerships, fundraising, investors, however you want to define that. Give us a sense for your status and traction.
Yeah, we're in market, in production with customers across both enterprise and mid-market. Now, I think for us, what that means is that it's single digit millions in revenue, dozens of customers, including POCs and pilots, and then some in production. And we really focus on what I call three major use cases. So, insurance underwriting, insurance claims processing, and then a lot of lending and diligence workflows in finance. So it's a broader suite of use cases that we could serve, but all through the same platform.
Nice, and congrats on that traction. And then where's the company located?
We're based in New York City. The team is around 30 people now. Most of the team is in New York, but we do have people across the globe. So places like Toronto, rest of the United States, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, as well as parts of Europe, including places like Germany, Switzerland, and Croatia.
Nice. And why New York City? When you think of New York City and the relationship to your company and your industry, why does that make the most sense?
So I've been in New York City about 16 years, started my career in finance at places like JP Morgan, Bridgewater. And over the years, I've built, I've been an operator within finance, but I've also sold machine learning software to some of the big carriers and banks that are primarily based out of New York City. So when we decided to build Multimodal, it is my third startup, and I think the focus for us was how do we stay close to customers, right? And I think there is incredible domain expertise as well as go-to-market talent and now technical talent in New York City. So it's a kind of a very natural home, just given that it's a hotbed for both finance and insurance.
Nice. And remind us what generator program you went through and when.
Yeah, so we did the wealth and insurance accelerator last summer. So we got in July of last year, and then we participated in the fall. So it was from, I believe, July through mid-October last year.
Nice. And tell us more about your generator experience with the Insurance and Wealth Accelerator.
It was a great program for us because we got to be very close to both Allianz Life and then Securian Financial. So having the two big carriers underpin the program was really valuable because we're able to get deep insights. And I think the whole Generator team did a remarkable job of getting us basically in front of not only other prospective customers that could provide feedback, but then it was also kind of a launch pad for us to get deeper with investors and other advisors that could be helpful in our journey. So I think in all the ways, as any accelerator should, it helped accelerate some of the journey and learnings for us as part of the program.
Nice. I appreciate hearing that. And shout out to Eddie Olson, managing director of that program. Uh, Ankur, how would you say the accelerator helped you the most? Does any particular anecdote stand out in that regard?
I think normally when you speak with customers, you have shorter conversations. They tend to be over Zoom. So learnings are pretty shallow until you get into POCs and pilots, and the learnings could be much more material. I think what happened with the Generator program was that we got a front row seat, basically weekly calls, led by Eddie and the Generator team. And then counterparts that we served both at Securian and Allianz Life. And I think that very high touch experience, week in, week out, over 10 weeks, was really valuable because we got a level of learning that wouldn't have been possible having done dozens of customer calls because they don't have the opportunity to provide candid feedback And as part of the program, I think we were able to get really good feedback that's been helpful to our product journey, both from Allianz Life and Securian, and then the Generator team as well.
Yeah, definitely big shout out to the teams at both Allianz Life and Securian Financial and our investors and program partners there. Thank you for your support. Uh, Ankur, what advice do you have for founders and entrepreneurs that are considering an accelerator program like this one?
I think it's really important to know the why. Like, why are you joining an accelerator? What are you trying to get out of it? Because there are dozens and dozens of accelerators, and I think you have to really choose which accelerators are going to be enabling for your organization, right? So I think some accelerators are really good at just getting you in front of investors, maybe helping you with a raise. Some are really, really good at getting you in front of your target audience, the ICPs that you want to serve, and get learnings there. And so I think you got to pick and choose which accelerator makes most sense. I think for us, we're able to build a relationship organically because before we got into the program, we had several conversations with the Generator team. We met them at conferences. And then I think we were also able to participate at the conference you did last June. And then we got into the program in July. So we knew with eyes wide open, exactly what we were going to get out of the accelerator, and it aligned with our moment in time journey, which was we wanted to get really deep learnings from our target audience, was deeply valuable for us.
And then tell us, is there a favorite part of the program that you had, or perhaps a favorite connection or introduction that emerged from it either during the accelerator or sometime after the accelerator?
So my favorite parts of the program were the in-person days that we had. I think that you could do countless Zoom meetings, but you're never going to get that crisp of feedback and communication as you would just being on site for a day or two. And I think as part of the Generator program, we had several of those occasions early on in the program, midway through, and at the very end during ITC, which is the major insurance conference in Vegas in October. So I think for us, it was the in-person conversations. And I would say what's surprising is that it's not just Allianz Life and Securian Financial and the Generator team, while valuable as they are, it's also getting in touch with your cohort co-founders, right? The other people that are in the program, because they're going through similar journeys, and there's a lot of good note sharing that you could do, and that was deeply valuable. Again, building on relationships that we did in person with the team.
I really appreciate hearing that. I'm kind of old school in that sense. And, we started Generator in 2012, long before the pandemic. Everything was in person when we started. And then, gradually we shifted into virtual or these hybrid scenarios. So I appreciate hearing from the founder perspective that just the value of the in-person connection. And I also want to double down on, I think perhaps underweighed value of an accelerator is the peer-to-peer relationships with your fellow
Mhm.
founders, and how can that lead to just not only just what I call positive peer pressure, but other, business development connections that can come from that, both during and long after the program. So I'm glad you like the in-person elements. All right, the last question I have that I ask every entrepreneur is for the audience that's watching and listening to this, if you had one ask for that audience, whether it's an introduction or an investor or a customer or just general advice, what would your ask be?
Yeah, I think a major ask is I know many of our prospective customers, so both insurance carriers and then banks, they're in the market right now trying to understand agentic AI. It's a new technology. It's rapidly changing and evolving. And I think for them, learnings are critical. So the ask really is if you know carriers and banks that are interested in learning more and testing out more players in agentic I think we have a phenomenal introduction to agentic AI that we can deliver to be helpful in that journey. And of course, the goal really is to get them hands-on testing and trying some of this. And I think that's going to be very, very valuable learnings for them. I think it's going to be incredible opportunities for us to partner. But that's our big ask is more customer introductions, especially those that are trying to kickstart their agentic AI journey and really focus on automation.
I love it. So if you are a bank, a financial institution, if you're interested in just getting your feet wet and taking the first step with Agentic AI, please put those recommendations into the comments or chat here. Ankur, thank you. Appreciate the time. If you're interested in learning more about multimodal, please check out their link and their URL in the description here. And we look forward to seeing you on the next Generator Founder Series Spotlight. Thank you.
Thanks, Troy. Thanks for having us.